So what you're looking at now is the traffic coming off the naval base here. The tunnel, of course, is shut down.
July 2nd was, according to the newspaper, Carmageddon.
If you ever wondered what it would be like if one of the tunnels shut down all day, you found out.
First reports blamed the weather, but this time it was not an act of God, but of metal and man.
This is the piece of the 8-inch iron fire water main that was burst.
That pipe's failure led to the more than 2 million gallons of water that flowed into the duct and chambers that are beneath the roadway surface.
Unfortunately, the flooding went undetected for 8 hours. When tunnel workers finally realized the problem, they closed the tube for most of the day while they pumped out the standing water.
I hate being stuck in traffic.
A lot of drivers who have not been watching the news are still trying to get onto 64 heading west.
The solution to a loss of one crossing of the harbor is usually simple: reroute traffic to the other. Not this day.
When we were doing the blockage and rerouting of traffic, we had a one-car accident on the high-rise bridge, and then we had a 3-car accident in the northbound of the Monitor-Merrimack Tunnel.
And to further complicate matters, a power line fell at the south entrance to the James River Bridge. A tractor-trailer overturned at the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel, and movement between the two Elizabeth River tunnels was slowed by the closing of Waterside Drive for the opening of Harborfest the next day.
I saw on the morning of July 2nd at 6:30 a.m. the makings of a catastrophe.
There's no sugarcoating what happened in Hampton Roads yesterday. It was a traffic nightmare.
This incident illustrated in a way that we cannot miss that if we have a hurricane in this area and all of the tunnels are closed, that we will not be able to get out.
It made the entire region a mess, and that's how close to the edge we are all the time.
All the time now without a B plan.
We need more tubes on the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel. That's what we need, and we need it soon.
A week after the incident, VDOT leadership came to town to explain what happened and received an earful of advice from elected officials and local residents.
All of us live in a house. You don't move in and do nothing for the 20 years that you're there. Same thing with roads. You don't do nothing until something pops.
We put together a lengthy plan that's got 12 new funding mechanisms.
Including, says Republican Bob McDonnell, money from the general fund, port growth, ABC privatization, borrowing, and offshore drilling. But new taxes are off the table.
We're in a down economy, and people are scrambling both at their business and in their private lives in order to make ends meet. I'm not going to raise taxes on the citizens of Virginia.
To local legislative delegation leader John Cosgrove, the region must prioritize its needs.
6 projects, $9, $10, $13 billion. Don't bother, but let's look at what we can take, one bite at a time, and let's see what we can fix and really get traffic moving.
And the HRBT, he believes, must be high on the list.
I think it's intuitively obvious to the most casual observer that the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel has to be part of the equation.
Many commuters aren't waiting.
I had to take the tunnel every day, and it just got too much. So I went for a while without a job and finally looked around and got a job here in the peninsula. Even though it was less money, the traffic problem was what kept me from going to the south side.
At the Interstate 64 Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, westbound traffic from Norfolk to Hampton is backed up 4¼ miles to 4th View Avenue.
To regional planners, the time to act is now.
We have to have leaders who can step forward, say what has to be said, but more importantly, take the actions and take the medicine that we all know we're going to have to take.